On the north shore of the Mediterranean, two ancient civilizations in particular would have a profound effect on the development of Western civilization. One does not have to look far to see the legacy of ancient Greece and ancient Rome. Our language, our literature, our laws, our architecture, our very system of government we owe to the Greeks and the Romans. Welcome to Module 2 in Humanities and Western Civilization. In this module, our readings and other media will be exploring the rise of these two civilizations, the Greeks and the Romans. The Greeks called themselves the Hellenes. They were the descendants of a legendary founder known as Hellas. Our earliest evidence for them shows that they began to appear as a people sometime around the dawn of the Iron Age, around 1200 BCE. Although the Greeks were loosely connected by culture and language, for most of their early history they were not unified as a single civilization. Independent and powerful city-states, each one called a polis, made up the Greek world. Athens, Sparta, Corinth were some of these fiercely independent states, often at war, always rivals, yet it is from these Greek city-states that we have our modern concepts of democracy. In the later period, Greek culture would expand throughout the Mediterranean and beyond under the leadership of Alexander the great conqueror. The cultural descendants of the Greeks were the Romans. Beginning as early as the 8th century BCE, as a small settlement along the Tiber River on the Italian peninsula, Rome would eventually become the largest empire the world had ever seen. While the Greek city-states had been disunified and often at war, the Romans imposed a unified political system, enforced by the might of their legions. Now, while Rome got their empire through military supremacy, outwardly the Romans embraced cultural diversity. At its height, the Roman Empire stretched from the north of Europe up to the borders of what is now modern-day Scotland, down to North Africa in the south, and to the east in the Holy Land, Middle East, and Anatolia. It was absolutely huge. Many of the modern cities of Europe and Asia began first as Roman cities. London, Paris, Istanbul, each of these cities were founded by the Romans. And wherever the Romans went, they brought their culture. Each Roman city was essentially a carbon copy of the other. So whether you were in Londinium, the Roman name for London, in the far north, or Carthage in North Africa, you could go visit a public bath with indoor plumbing and hot water, or perhaps take in a gladiator fight in the arena. The Romans also brought their language with them. When the Roman Empire eventually fell in the late 5th century CE, their language, laws, and customs remained. French, Spanish, Italian, Portuguese, Romanian, these are just modern versions of Latin, a living legacy to a culture long gone.